It was considered by trail historians as the longest, crookedest, most arduous pack mule route in the history of America. The Old Spanish Trail is an historical migration route from the 1830s to mid-1850s that connected Santa Fe, New Mexico to Los Angeles, California. Unlike paved trails and routes today, Spanish explorers made their way through high mountains, arid deserts, and deep canyons on horseback. Despite its rugged travel, the Spanish Trail became one of the most usable trade routes in history.
They said they couldn't even use wagons, that it was by pack mule. So you can imagine the difficulties and the dangers and the terrain that these early people faced.
Antonio Armijo led a caravan of 60 men and 100 pack mules from New Mexico to Mission San Gabriel in California, west of LA. The caravan carried woolen rugs and blankets produced in New Mexico to trade for horses and mules.
And can you imagine in 1829, with a pack mule train of 60 men and mules, to establish a trading route in this country? That's amazing. Think of the hardships that those people encountered.
Members of the National Society Colonial Dames of the 17th century hosted the unveiling of a new sign marking the significance of the route near St. George in southern Utah.
As colonial dames, we have the opportunity and responsibility to facilitate sharing our nation's history through site marking, preserving properties, and fostering education of our designated properties.
The marker in Confluence Park shows the trail and tells the history of this important site.
And a pack string of 100 mules left Abiquiu, New Mexico on November 7th, 1829. They passed through Washington County during the later half of December 16 and December 24th, 1829.
Dressed in colonial period clothing, members of the Old Spanish Trail chapter commemorated the marker, remembering the heritage and early settlers it brought here.
This is part of retaining history, is marking sites, historical sites. We do a lot of scholarships for people.
The dames are direct descendants of those who were part of the early colonial times within the founding of the first 13 colonies of America.
How many of our sons, brothers, husbands gave their lives to preserve freedom? This goes all the way back to the colonies, to the American Revolution, to the colonies, where we have always preserved our history, and these are the things we stand for. If we forget this, what do we have left?
The chapter's mission to dedicate historical sites like this will continue in an effort to educate future generations of the importance of history in time. In St. George, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.